Every 33 seconds, somebody dies from heart disease.
95% of people who experience cardiac arrest will die.
Heart disease is the #1 killer.
Stroke is the #3 killer.
Prevention saves lives.
I am a heart attack survivor.
I am a heart attack survivor.
Research saves lives.
I am a stroke survivor. Research saved my life.
Education saves lives.
I am a heart attack survivor. Knowing the warning signs saved my life.
I help save lives.
I help save lives.
I help save lives.
I help save lives.
You can help save lives.
And I am a statistic. And I never thought I would be a statistic, but I am. I got to the emergency room. I told the physicians that I felt that I was just stressed out. And again, I was denying that this could happen to me, although I did let them know that my mother was 48 when she had her first MI.
It happened to me at age 30 and I was in good health. It can happen to absolutely anybody.
No one in my family or my friends had ever had a stroke. And I was completely blindsided. I was 25 years old when I had my stroke. It was just a long recovery. I had probably 3 months of inpatient and 7 months of outpatient rehabilitation. I couldn't walk, couldn't talk. I was right-handed. Now I'm left-handed.
The day of my heart attack, I remember it like it was yesterday. I was thinking I was just tired and blowing it off.
When my mom was having a lot of difficulty going up the hill, I didn't really know what was going on.
I just felt like I couldn't go anymore, and I just looked up into my daughter's baby blue eyes, and I just had to dig in and say, I am not going to die on this hill.
I wasn't sure if my mom was going to die or not.
I was adopted. It wasn't until I was 42 that I discovered that my birth mother had a heart attack at 32. And that made me look at my life and realize that it was time to have my daughter tested.
The healthy level for kids my age is like 130 for cholesterol, and mine was 275.
I want families to know that this isn't a man or a woman's disease. This is a family disease.
Isaac had open heart surgery the first time when he was 12 days old, and in that situation he was in critical condition. He was suffering a coarctation of the aorta. It was one of a couple of congenital heart defects that he was born with, and it was very serious, and it was an emergency surgery to repair that saved his life. Another congenital heart defect that he has been living with since he was born was a cleft in his mitral valve. That was just fixed 2.5 weeks ago. We're pretty optimistic that Isaac may not have to have surgery, if ever again, not for many, many years. And we are very grateful to the American Heart Association for all of the work that they had done previous to Isaac having this issue, because the research and the ability to fix his problem was there in place by the time it happened to him.
I'm going to be all better soon.
My involvement with the American Heart Association came out of the impact that it had on so many of my patients. On a daily basis, I see how many of the trials and studies that were sponsored by the American Heart Association improve their lives.
The Heart Association has been effective through their research dollars in making a lot of the important discoveries. I mean, initial work on implantable pacemakers, initial work on artificial heart valves, the original, way back in the 1940s, the original research that helped us understand the way that muscle tissue worked was funded by the American Heart Association.
The research that's done today is the starting point for all cures for tomorrow.
And I have a dream that I can walk down the aisle as the mother of the bride and know that my little girl is going to be taken care of because of the advancements in science. But those dreams won't come true unless we have the money for research.
We actually got involved with Jump Rope for Heart, and it's grown into really taking a close look at our health curriculum. You're looking at heart disease, stroke, obesity, and those are the things we're keying on, and the Heart Association is such a big part of that.
And for the first time, we're concerned that we're looking at a generation of children that will not live as long as the generation before them.
They have helped us to begin to think, I think, more clearly and to focus on more accurately how do we begin to intervene and help parents and students to be healthy.
American Heart Association does a great job of involving the family. So if we promote that at school, we're hoping that they'll take that information home and be excited about it and get other family members into it.
It's those partnerships that make the difference, and by working together, quite frankly, we can't invent the information. We don't have the resources to do it, nor should we. So we have to count on folks like the American Heart Association to do the research, which is funded by people supporting the American Heart Association.
Because of the research, we've been able to develop guidelines for CPR, AED programs for the general public, and other programs that are important to support the chain of survival for the American Heart Association.
You know, you can't really pick and choose things that happen to you necessarily, but you are in control of so many factors, and it's about kind of taking a hold of life and making your choices.
The American Heart Association is incredibly committed to teaching people how to take better care of themselves, how to live better, more healthy lives, and to know the symptoms and signs and warnings when it's time to get medical help.
Donating to the American Heart Association is probably the #1 value that you can get for your dollar if you're going to give to a charitable organization.
The Heart Walk this year will raise, around $400,000, but over $1 million will come back to New Hampshire.
You can see results. You can see that these things are going to make a difference.
And you don't need to have heart disease to be a contributor.
It's easy to say yes to the American Heart Association. When you see the good work they do, when you see the lives they touch, it's difficult not to be involved with an organization like this. They do a really good job.
The American Heart Association is tens of thousands of volunteers, of people, from the ranks who are affected by cardiovascular disease and are out there advocating, raising funds, doing all sorts of things to help in the mission of the American Heart Association, which is reducing death and disability from cardiovascular disease.
I just want families to understand this is huge. This is the #1 killer.
I've got 2 children. They could be motherless right now. And without the research to be done, without the technology in area hospitals, I may not be here right now to raise my children.
In our family, preventing heart disease is a gift to the rest of the family.
Thank you, American Heart Association.
Thank you, American Heart Association.
Thank you, American Heart and Stroke Association.
Thank you, American Heart Association.
You can help save a life like Isaac's.
Make a difference.
Become involved.
Help change tomorrow, today.
You
You
are
the cure.